Okay, so this is the get up, roll to the gym workout video. But I'm up and I'm going. But the other thing, so I keep having just these intense, just they come through of like, I think, where are we going as a human consciousness? Like, and it's so funny because we want to create so much separation. And I really notice this, well, in every aspect. It's so nuanced that you actually don't even know that you're doing it. I watch it even in some spiritual work and spiritual communities that I'm a part of. And there is an element that it's so interesting because it's like, it's just about being. Like, it's not about anything else. Like, we have so confused ourselves of like, we are here to arrive at a state of being. And what that attracts, what that does. But I was just thinking about, I was getting ready to listen to a meditation track put out by somebody, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, we put all this power in other people's hands. Like, oh, this person who recorded this meditation is going to help me solve this. And I think even in leadership or coaching or any of the work, like, the real work is can that person hold space for you to figure out the answers yourself? Because it's not about, oh, this meditation track, like I see it all the time. This meditation track, it healed me, or this person's program did this for me. And at the end of the day, you're the one that has to do the work. You hold all the power. Everything lies within you. And we have come to idolize, worship, these individuals that, yes, are doing great work, but it's one way, one tool, one thing to go about it. And it's also being created from a space of lack. Again, we have this lovely paradigm where we like to create from a space of you're not good enough. Like, not how do I activate myself? How do I remember my highest self? How do I be my highest self? Like, how are we activating and calling people to that? And when we think of pure consciousness, Christ consciousness, what that means, like, Jesus wasn't running around acting like he knew everything and here's the way to solve your lack, other human beings. He just was. He was who he was. And in his isness, helped other people heal, because when you have people that stand in that energy, they call you, they activate in you that same level of consciousness. He saw people as whole, complete, and healthy. And so what did he then, how did he act? He acted from a state of pure consciousness, of pure love. And when I think about even the work I do, and I want to be so nuanced in it, because it's like, it's not about me. It's about the healing of the collective and the whole. It's about me and just my beingness and what am I called to share, because that's what's coming through, completely detached of who it lands with, how it goes. It just is. Like, this, it just is. And it's very hard, I think, in the spiritual, I think it's very hard to set aside your ego. It's very hard to get to a state of Christ consciousness, because you have to become devoid of your earthly identities. You have to become devoid of everything that you think you are and what you think is important. It's even like, I think in the spiritual community, it's very nuanced, because I think it's like, oh, I'm serving people. But if you really tap in to most people are doing it for their own ego, not because God's calling them to the highest place, not because it's I'm just a vessel and this is coming through almost like there's a channel. I think as we raise in our consciousness, our ability to channel or be connected with true divine source and information is just going to flow naturally. It's not going to be, again, how many books did I read? What books did I read? Again, that's very the ego feeding that. Like, you already have all this knowledge within you. That book, that thing activated that knowledge within you, but the well of information already existed within you. Are we willing as a human collective to start tapping into that? Are we willing to be devoid? Are we willing to start working and being around other people that activate our wholeness? There is no real wounding. The wounding is what our ego wants to create. It's creating separation. Our wholeness is the remembering of, we already are divinely perfect. We are our 12th energy center, our divine chakra that is connected at source. We already are that. So we don't have to do all this stuff to then become worthy of it, because we already are it. There's no real work that needs to be done other than remembering. And I think when people want to get you trapped in that, or think that that's the way through, is like, you got to do inner child work, or here's shadow work, or whatever there could be, if you're not very discerning, a very nuanced dark side to that healing work that you think that you're doing, that's somehow going to transcend or move you forward. You have to be so discerning. There is not one person external to you, not one, that has any amount of answers that you don't have. And the real power comes from activating within that. Like, yes, they can be the mirror, but the sad reality in our society today is we give away our knowingness because we think we're lacking something. And it's like, what about if we activated into and stepped into the highest level of being, and we quit running these programs in these stories of how unworthy we are. And trust me, I have my moments all the time. And then I have to remind myself, what's that part of me, and how much do I love her? What is she really trying to protect me from? But then, like, to step in and go, oh, I am divinely perfect. I am this, and I don't have to do anything to make that come true. It already exists. So I just challenge all of us to catch ourselves in the moments that we have where we're feeling that separation, or we're turning to something to maybe fix that, and really take a pause and go within and say, who am I really? Is this really me? And if we truly connect into that energy center and the remembrance and our connection to the divine, there won't be all this traumatic work that we have to do. It's just like, oh no, this is my soul. And there's a lot of modalities, there's a lot going on, there's a lot that I know, but it's like, you're whole and complete. You are whole and complete. And when people are trying to create that separation within you, You have to ask yourself why, you know, because a true healer is helping you see your whole and completeness that you already are, and is walking you on that journey back to your whole self.